On December 10th, 2020, NaVi and Vitality clashed in the upper bracket semi-finals of the Blast Premier Fall Series on Nuke, the first map in a best of 3. History will show that the map was won by Vitality, but what it does not tell you is how. Nuke is, in my opinion, the map in the pool that has the most strategic depth. So much so, in fact, that we often don't appreciate just how much is going on in any given round of Nuke while it's happening. Vitality started the map on the CT side, ending the half 8-7 in favor of the Frenchmen. Despite not having the momentum going into the second half, NaVi still managed to rally to 15 rounds first, nearly ending the game in regulation. The fourth round beautifully illustrates what has become a very common A execute on Nuke. NaVi spend the first part of the round setting up a distraction outside, whose ultimate goal is to make sure there isn't a heavy defense on the A site. At just under a minute remaining, the symphony begins with Flamey blowing up the squeaky door with an HE grenade. In perfect synchronicity, Simple and Electronic Molotov the hut and the default position behind the A site reactors. Flamey then smokes the main entrance into A and Molotovs the corner behind the vent. This entire sequence is followed by a near endless rain of flashbangs that prevent Vitality from putting up a defense against the onslaught. One of the big problems in the current metagame defending against this kind of strategy is that you really have 3 choices and none of them are very good at all. One of the choices is that you can just stand inside of the fire and hope to take maybe 1 or 2 with you, but you for sure will go down yourself. Another choice instead is to try and move out of the fire, but then you're a moving target and your recoil is going to be off and likely will be at a huge disadvantage and will likely go down as a result. And the third option is to try and extinguish the smoke really quickly and then just hide inside of the smoke and hope that it will take enough time for the enemies to find you and that backup will arrive. But none of these are really perfect solutions, and I think that's why this strategy has become so popular these days. The 21st round unfolds very similarly to how the 4th round did, but Vitality have a more elaborate strategy in mind. At the 37-second mark, they throw grenades that would normally indicate an A execute, but instead use the confusion to dive down vent, losing Masutra in the process. The grenades have a secondary purpose, which is to force a rotation from any yard players out into the open. This then allows Apex to catch them off guard from silo. Meanwhile, Shox stays behind by Squeaky in order to catch any CTs trying to rotate. Shox easily kills Simple during his rotation. Cyber wins a 1 vs 2 that includes an absurd mid-air shot on Boomich and a tactical play on a ticking bomb. The round ends when Perfecto runs out of time and the bomb detonates. The 32nd round is a fantastic case study in just how utterly confusing CT side Nuke can get. Vitality managed to take ramp control, but are forced into a 4-on-5. For the next 30 seconds, NaVi have difficulty reading Vitality's positioning on the map. With the time ticking down, Saiwu spots Boomich and traps him in secret with a Molotov. NaVi continue to be strangled for information until Perfecto appears to have a read on the other team. He then calls on Electronic to help, but is ambushed by RPK, who is already positioned underneath the ladder. While this is happening, Saiwu and Apex have grouped up outside and are moving into the bomb site from the other side. This leaves Perfecto and Simple to fight 2 vs 4, and Simple's AWP skills nearly win the round for NaVi. Unfortunately, Vitality's crippling manipulation of the NaVi defense ultimately secures them the round. One last interesting detail to look for in this matchup is the difference between Simple and Saiwu. In this particular game, Simple ended at plus 11 KD and Saiwu at 0, and we'll be following that in the future when these two teams meet again. Clearly both teams had a very good understanding of Nuke, but I think NaVi's inability to gather information ultimately led to their demise. Vitality, on the other side of things, not only were very good at executing strategies, but also had a very deep strategic understanding, and I think that is why they walked away with a victory this time. Thank you for watching Doublescope. My name is Blume, and if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future.